Welcome to Bad Law, Worst Facts. I'm your host, Michael Takla. I am super excited to be back and starting a new season. I know I took a little bit of time off, just running a whole law firm, but I'm back and I want to talk about three main things this season. First, I want to talk about voir dire. Second, I want to talk about clear and concise depositions, right? And three, I want to talk about traumatic brain injuries. And so let me talk a little bit about each one and what I expect that we're going to kind of unveil during our topics this season. So first, voir dire. I have started using inclusive voir dire in my trials, and I actually prep my stuff that way. And inclusive voir dire is kind of interesting. You're not trying to get the jury off. You're really trying to get them to listen to what you're saying and already kind of prepping them mentally for some of the issues that you're going to have in the case. So a good example, and I'll give you one from the trial I just did. It was all about attorney-run medical, right? And so that's what the defense, one of the hats, I mean, there was a huge liability issue, a lot of issues, but one of the hats was, this is attorney-run medical. So what I did is I asked the jury, hey, who here has been involved in a car accident? Raise your hands. Who here has been injured in a car accident? Raise your hands. And I picked one of the jurors. And I said, oh, you've been injured in a car accident. What happened? They tell me, you still have injuries from that? Yeah, I did it a couple more times, right? Then I go, now, who here has or did hire an attorney? Raise your hand. Now, so you hired an attorney for this car accident? I did. Did that attorney send you to a medical treatment? He did. During the time period where you're doing the medical treatment, did you think you were a fraud? Were you think you were faking your injuries? No, not at all. And did you have an issue with what you were doing during that time period? No. Did it help? It helped a lot. Did you get any injections? Now, this guy did. He said, yeah, I did get injections. Did they help? Oh, man, they helped for a while. You still have pain today? Oh, I still have pain today. I still hurt from it. And was that case resolved? It was. Did that, you think it adequately compensated you for the pain that you're having 20 years later? No. Especially so if the defense comes up here and says that, this car collision can only cost, a few months of treatment, this could be unfair, isn't it? Yeah. And if the defense in your case said that, you would think that'd be super unfair, wouldn't you? I would. Thank you, juror number whatever. And you kind of move on to the next thing. And that's just an example, but there are so many ways you can use this to kind of connect with it. And Sari de Lamont even goes further, and she kind of discusses it in the way that you almost say, because it would be ridiculous to hold that stance. So that's what we're going to get into. We're going to discuss that. Second thing is clear and concise depositions. Something I've been working on so much is not only visuals, and I'm not talking about the visuals that you pay for and everything like that, but just like having a PowerPoint visual, kind of like almost in a picture-in-picture situation. And I've been doing it on smaller cases, and obviously larger cases, but I've been doing it on smaller cases, so that way the jury has something to look at, right? I notice that juries tend to not want to do that unless the deposition is clear and concise. And stop going so overboard on everything, right? We want it clear and clean as quickly as possible. We're looking at Netflix specials of 15 to 20 minutes for a witness. Now, I understand doctor depositions are longer, but there's ways around that. Just, you really want to keep it clean in that manner. And we're going to get into how some of the best have done it that way and how they continue to do it. Definitely, if I were you guys, I would look into something like Joe Fried's speed trial. It's definitely the best way things are being done right now. Last is TBI, traumatic brain injuries. These are, I think, tough cases. And one of the things that I think make them apparent to a jury and how you actually try these cases is you don't just take doctor to doctor, right? Well, their defense expert says there's no objective findings, but look at all these subjective findings my client has, and the doctor's basing it off of that, and blah, 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 blah. No. You want to find before and after witnesses, and it's really important. You want someone to say, I knew Charlie before and I know Charlie after, and it's a totally different person, and I think this direct affected it, and kind of go through that. And the more you can do that, more you can layer that, and the more removed they are from the case, like neighbors, workers, something like that, no one who has any sort of financial interest, i.e. immediate family, the better. And there's ways to kind of can that and make it clean. Now, if we do this right, i.e. I do it right, and we do clear and concise depositions, and we talk about a TBI, man, I think coming out of the season, we're going to be ready and rolling for bigger and better verdicts. So I'm super excited for this season. So if you're new here, thank you for listening to my podcast. If you are a returning member, man, thank you so much for returning. There are so many things you could be doing with your super important legal life. And I thank you so much for listening to me talk and to the guests speaking about these subjects as well, because we're all getting better.